Welcome back to Grand Bend Motorsports and this round of CSBK. I am Eric Tritko, joined by the defending ZX4 R Cup champion, Jacob Black. Jacob, great to have you on the mic up here helping me out.
No, great to be up here. I'm excited. This is historic today. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, so bikes going out right now in our EBC amateur sport bike. I'm going to run down the list here for you as we go through. Our starting grid here on pole, it's going to be Brendan Stewart, Bailey Ives in the middle of row number 1, and then Julia Kranz rounds out row number 1. Then it's Jeff Barnard, Jeremy LaRue, and Michael Black in row number 2, and then third is Alexis Baudouin on the third row. We had 3 riders who were DQ'd, and I don't know if they're going to get to the start because they did qualifying on the wrong tires, non-approved tires. So.
I do see those riders out here. So
okay. All right. So they let them in, but they'll have to start from the back of the grid. So riders on their warm-up lap, making their way around in through the carousel right now, and getting ready to take their spots on the starting grid. Jacob, when you get up to that spot, what are you feeling right now?
Right, mostly a lot of nerves, a little bit of excitement. You're trying to breathe deep and trying to breathe, in through the nose, out through the mouth, or vice versa. Nice and gently on the exhales, trying to get set, make sure you're in gear, and then it's really about just focusing on those lights and trying to steady the nerves so that you're ready when that light drops.
Do you have a routine you go through so that you don't forget everything?
Yeah, I mostly talk to myself a lot, so I'll be on there going, okay, calm, steady, trying to talk myself into a state of zen so that I'm not revving the guts out of the thing and trying to launch it too hard and making mistakes. So there's a little bit of jostling as people try and find their position on the grid there, and that's normal when it's the first time back to a racetrack for a little while. Some of these guys are brand new here.
All right, motors are up and they're off. And good jump from the outside there coming into turn 1.
That was Bailey Ives.
Yeah, Bailey with a great jump coming into turn 1.
So Bailey's going to get the whole shot here, and he's been at the front of this field fighting with Alexis Baudouin all season long, and Alexis not having the best qualifying effort, so Bailey's got a real opportunity to claw back some points in the championship here. And I think that's one of the local riders that's right up the back of Bailey at the moment. He was on the pole, but it's Bailey who leads us as they come through turn 3, and now the left-hander into turn 4.
Out into the infield section here, and yeah, Bailey Ives gets on the throttle here as he goes back and about to take the final turn onto the backstretch here. Now here's where we see who's got the power and who gets on the throttle. Good battle, third and fourth position there.
Julia Kranz got a great launch out of that hairpin onto the back straight, had to check up, and now she makes a move. She's looking on the inside on the way into the carousel, but Julia had to back out of that one, and it's Bailey followed by that local. I'm going to have to check the name again, forgive me guys. I believe that was Braden Stewart there in second, and Braden's looking as they come up to turn number 1.
Yeah, into turn number 1, on the brakes hard, they turn it to the right, back to the left-hand side, just maintaining the throttle here through this sort of bus stop or Omega section, and now out of that and coming on into the the side stretch, I guess we could call it here.
A little short shoot here up to the bus stop for this really tricky little right-hander and then the left-hander, and it's easy to come deep into that right-hander, and it messes you up, but Bailey got through there cleanly. And I see the local now, Braden, is ranging all over the back of that Suzuki GSXR of Bailey Ives. He's going to look as they come down, and we got to ride it down on the exit of the dogleg. Yep. And I believe that was Jeff Barnard, who was in a battle with Julia Kranz. Julia Kranz, it looks like, is still up, so I think that's Jeff Barnard on the side there, on the way into the hairpin.
Making their way now down the backstretch, getting ready to the carousel, and Bailey had opened up a nice gap there down the backstretch, but the second place rider there, Stewart, he is a demon on the brakes. Here we go, pass.
Right, Stewart into turn 1. It's a big lunge. Can he pull it up? He's going to go a little bit wide. Bailey's going to look to try and double back now and get back on the cutback as they go through the long, sweeping second turn, then turn 3. But I think Braden Stewart's got that one secured. He's already leapt out to a little bit of a gap.
I noticed that early in those first couple laps. He is super strong on the brakes up through, I'd say, this section into the short chute. And Bailey seemed to have a little bit better flow here. So let's see if he's going to be able to carry some momentum through here and set up for a draft and pass back. that little crook that takes him on to the runway in the back straight here.
So it was Jeff Barlow that crashed. I see Julia Krantz is there in the third spot. She's been having a year, Eric. She's been doing really well on that
Yeah, not only in this amateur sport bike, but in the amateur super bike as well.
So that's some really good results. And Jerry, I think that's Jeremy Lazura in fourth there. That's ranging up on the back of her, and those two have had some very strong battles over the last couple of rounds.
As they complete another lap coming into through turn 1 and 2 here. Bailey trying to close up the gap just a little bit, but not making too much progress through that area. He's got to maybe just hook on the back here, watch Stewart here for a lap or two, find out where he can find that extra tenth and a half to get right back on his back wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Time to go to school for Bailey, because there wasn't a lot in him at qualifying time, and there wasn't a lot in him at the early part of the race, but Braden Stewart is trying to pull the pin. You can see he's trying to get a bit of a gap, and this next lap will tell whether or not Bailey can stick with him, or if he's going to have to consolidate and get these championship points in second.
All right, down the straightaway once again, and Stewart opens up a pretty good gap there coming down. Now let's see if Ives can turn the table and get him on the brakes as they come into the carousel, but still, I'd say 8, 9 bike lengths there, at least, maybe 12, as we get a better look as they're making their way through the carousel. Back onto the front stretch here. And Stewart, I'd say he's got control of this thing now. He just needs to be smart about things.
He's got a bunch of scuff in the neck, but Bailey has a bigger picture to think about too. Alex Bernard, his main championship contender, he's back down in fifth at the moment, several bike lengths back off the battle between Julia Krantz and Jeremy Lazure for third. So Bailey Ives has a real opportunity to grab some ground and make some points gain in this championship fight. Oh, Bailey's just had a big moment coming out of the carousel there down on the short chute. That Suzuki was lit up at the back end. It's tailing. He is pushing hard. So everything I said about maybe Bailey's going to consolidate a little bit and take this opportunity, well, you can throw that out the window. I'm a moron. Off he goes.
Yeah, well, come on, you're a racer. You know it. You consolidate not this early in the race. Bailey's going to start pushing hard, figure out how much tire he's got underneath him, how comfortable he is, pushing the front end and the rear end of that bike. As he charges down once again into the carousel, maybe closes up. That is definitely a smaller gap this time by. So he did even with that moment he had in the short chute, he is carrying it through, and it's closed a couple bike lengths here. Let's see if he can do anything here into turn 1 to close that gap just a little bit more.
Last time down the back straight there, Bailey didn't have a look over his shoulder to see who was around him or what was around him. So he knows that he's got a big gap to the rider in third place there, Julia Krantz. So now Bailey's got an opportunity. Okay, do I afford to push? If I make a little mistake, I can recover some of that time, or do I try and consolidate this position? And Bailey's a racer.
Yeah, I mean 7 laps to go here, so plenty of time. He doesn't need to do anything right now, and he's just probably taking it, like you say, taking a moment, but pushing where he can, trying to find that 10th and a half here as they make their way once again onto the runway here. And let's see, can he close up again? This time down.
I think Braden has a fairly decent amount of motor, or he's getting a really good drive, because he managed to open up a gap on the first part of that back straight down the horsepower highway, and then Bailey ranges back into carousel.
It could be one of those things. He's a local rider, races here in Soar. He knows exactly where he needs to be on the track when he can get on that throttle just a little bit more. So, but Bailey's definitely closing up as they come by into turn number 1. That lead looks like it's down to about a 1/10 of a second now as they make their way through the bus stop section here, 2, 3, and 4 in the little straight, and then go into the short chute here. Let's see out onto that short chute. Does Bailey wick it up here? How's he going to come? How hard is he going to come into it?
So you're right there, because Bailey just set the fastest lap of the race. So
brave, crazy, or just hope that Stewart doesn't, that he has a mistake through here. So into that short chute for the last time, onto the brakes, he's trying to close.
He's closed up a lot on this lap because that cost him over a second and a half, and he's within 4 bike lengths as they head into the peak now.
All right, here's where he cannot afford to lose any of that gap coming out onto the back stretch here on the runway. He's just got to wick it now and go and ride any kind of wheel spin, and he did a better job there. He held pretty even.
There's not a lot of opportunity now, though, unless Bailey's going to be extremely vicious on the brakes down here into the carousel, but that'll be a late lunge. There's only the little left-hand kick and then the line, and I don't think Bailey's going to do it.
No, he's not going to be able to do it.
I think Braden Stewart is going to win this race.
But it's going to be tight, just a bike length between them as they cross the start-finish line. What a fantastic race for these EBC amateur sport bikes. That's what we want to see.
Bailey Ives with a 107.1, the fastest lap of the race by far on the last tour of that race. So he was trying right till the end. That issue, you have to wonder what could have been if it wasn't for that issue with the laps rider. Julia Kranz in third.
Yeah, we'll run down the rest here. Fourth is Jeremy Lazure. Fifth was Alexis Baudouin. Sixth, Joshua Hodgson. Seventh, Michael Black.